Hey guys, this is Colin here from Push to Prod, my well overdue second video on AI coding and some of the workflows I do. Graduate a lot from just using Claude through the web. So, went through Cursor, trying out Claude Code now. I use obviously a combination of them all and still jump back into the web version of Claude with my AI knowledge base product as well. Just, again, depending on... basically have it all really, just to make sure. There's lots of different ways to do this stuff, but I had some success the other day trying out Claude Code on a fairly big feature on this app, which is the app we were talking about in the last one where we replaced the sidebar, although I didn't get too far then. It's all done now. And so I wanted to try, and I did it, and then I hadn't recorded it. I was like, damn it, so I'm just going to record this, see what happens. For those who are catching up or haven't seen this, it's basically a Ruby on Rails or an Inertia.js app, monolithic type, app. Really like these type of no API, not complicated type backends, but it's still being able to have obviously the React componentized front ends, and for the amount of data this thing's crunching, it runs really nice. This is the latest edition I just added, actually pushed it today, which is tracking weekly and monthly trends of all these rankings. So again, you don't really need to know the product. Basically, it's tracking player results for a game called Warhammer: The Old World, just a tabletop miniatures game. If anyone's heard of like Warhammer 40k, similar to that. Better than that, but anyway, I won't go into that. What I wanted to do, and obviously when players play, they're playing with it's called an army, and that has an army list that they can choose. And so it's pretty common that people chase the meta or want to know what's the good army. Now, I do track, people can submit their armies. So here's an example of a tournament that happened last week in Australia. Kieran here has submitted, or I can't remember, he must have submitted this list here. There's yellow, if it's yellow here, they haven't been submitted, they can submit the list. But basically what I want to do is, right now, you've got to sort of go into the results and find the tournament you're after and then see, especially people look for the people who were undefeated and have a look at what they took. And so what I want to do is give them a global view across all the world, not just the region up here, and allow them to filter down. So certain types of armies, the results, where it was, that stuff, so they can see the top list. So with that, I'm going to use Claude Code just to see how good it can not one shot. I don't expect it'll get it right. But, it's a pretty big change. I want to add stuff to the sidebar, create new screens, make sure it's non-tenanted, the controller, because usually the system's tenanted around the country, so therefore you're only getting the country's results in and the players for that country. But this is going to be a global type of thing. Technically, I don't have a global section yet, so I will eventually rank all players globally. But that's a different, I won't get into the kettle. It's a rabbit hole at the moment, so that's not what that was originally built for. So what I'm going to do, and so there's a lot of back-end stuff to make sure it's pulling the army list properly. And then I want to obviously display it in React in like 10 stack tables that are sortable or filterable at least, and then see what happens, I guess. So I did prep up a prompt. God, this update again. I swear I just updated Claude Code. Yep. Or maybe does it just do minor updates every time? And so if you've only updated, it only goes to the, I don't know. That's weird. I swear I just opened that before. Anyway, here, so we're going to create a top list view that users can use to view army lists, sorted by result. I mean, that should be good, but what I might do is say tournament result, because that's sort of how it is under the covers. We'll add a new section to the sidebar underneath tournaments called the meta, and this new item will be called top lists. The screen is like the players index page in that it's global and doesn't specifically belong to any region. That's just so I can try and tell Claude about this multi-tenanted stuff. The controller will need to ensure it queries armies list without tenant to ensure it finds all lists. The table should utilize TAN stack As we want to include filter drop-downs for faction tournament type, which is GT, RTT, and points, though we don't have points yet, so leave that part out. I just wanted to throw some weird shit in like that, see what happens. The table should display the faction player, player's country flag, flag from their home region, tournament it was run in, and results. Plus the black show army list button like we have on the tournament results. Okay, anyway. I won't go too much into that. I'm probably mumbling now. Let's whack it into Claude and see what happens. And I'll probably will have to... I'll try not to cut this. I don't want people to think I'm cutting and editing it. But obviously, this can take a while. So I don't know if I want to sit here on camera the whole time, but we'll see what it does. So off it goes. It's interesting because we already have... Oh, it's going to put a... We already have that stuff. That's interesting. I swear we already have an army list controller. So it's already screwing up. Might not actually, because technically we get it through tournament results. So maybe we don't, so that's probably okay. See what happens. Now, the most of this product was built with Claude under the, but sort of the manual way, and then I'm evolved a little bit into using Cursor the last month or so. Obviously, you can see I'm using RubyMine, so I don't use Cursor. Like I use RubyMine to run it. It's easier for debugging and stuff because it's Ruby. VS Code's never been great with that. Yeah, just do whatever. Okay, so there wasn't already an existing control, I thought so, but anyway. And this would just be responding with get all army order by tournament result. It's interesting. I don't think I ever had that, so I'm not sure why that's there. Maybe I did. Anyway, yeah, it's an interesting... It's an interesting time to be a developer, that's for sure. Twiddling thumbs, watching people write code, which isn't me. Okay, it's adding the meta army list. Okay, yep. I can see there the Hrefs army list, so it's not adding it under the region. Like you'll see a lot of times, well, there it is, it's already appeared there, top lists. It's not ironically, it's not using the same icon as this guy. Probably hasn't realized that that's the button yet, so I want it to do that because you want it to be using that sort of button, but it's good that it's added it in there, which is cool. Now it's going to go and start adding the app front end pages army list. Now this is sort of where it's got to learn about inertia.js and how that stuff works. Assuming it starts plugging this in, it's going to break while it's building it, obviously. And then it's trying to, I'll just skim, let's see. The other thing I often do is, go into fork, look at the results as they're coming in. Check it is doing army list. Yeah, so it's not doing without tenant, it's doing it without tenant, which is good. Ranking by ranking points, I like that. Good old factions filtering. Now this is technically wrong. That's not how you format inertia responses, really. So that'll have to be fixed. So that's probably not 100% right, but that's okay. Starting to whack this stuff in here. Now, what I don't like is it's putting it all into this index page. I'd rather the page be quite small and using componentizing it and stuff like that. So we'll need to, tell it about that in a minute. So also if I come down, I just wrapped it in the page container. And doing that. Okay, so it's doing some things. Okay, so it thinks it's finished. My screen here is busted, so I'm assuming it's got some React problems. Let's just have a look at that. Country flag, I can't remember about that, but yes, we do have this little guy. I'm not sure what. Yeah, I can just throw those errors at it, but I just want to make a couple of comments with it so it knows what it's doing. Let's say verify we're responding correctly in the controller to ensure everything is a inertia JS response. Look at tournament controller or other. Also, componentize, and I should have the army list page as much as possible by putting components under components UI, etc. Also, match the sidebar icon with the icon used in our army list button. Yeah, I'll do that first before I fix this error. Probably should fix the error first, but that's okay. It's going to have a bit of a look around that stuff just to make sure. I don't think we shouldn't be responding with JSON. Again, that's just a yeah, you can see that that's much better. That's what it should be doing. Just render inertia index. So I love inertia. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's more of a Laravel thing, but it works in Ruby. While it's doing that, I mean, basically what it's doing is it'll dish up a HTML page if it's the first one. Otherwise, it's going to serialize it in JSON, so it acts like a single page app. But apart from that, you're using Rails pretty much the same way that you normally would, just with serializers. Fucks off all the stupid GraphQL API crap that most products are built on, which most of the time they don't need. But anyway. So yeah, it becomes a less chatty interface. When you go to a page, it loads up. It doesn't sit there and have to load 5 things and then cache it all on the front end. Okay, so now it's at least extracting this stuff into, components UI, army list, table, columns. That's what I want. Make sure that's how our other ones are done. Well, most are done, unless I got lazy. I don't know why that app components UI one was breaking, but just go over to fork and have a look what it's doing. Yes, I mean, first glance, that's looking a lot closer to what I wanted. That's turned into the right icon now, and now we're starting to split up some of this stuff. Interestingly, it's put an army list button. Now, it might need one. We've got an army list button, so I'm not sure why it's done that. I'll have to check up on that. It might have got a bit trigger happy there. That's looking a lot better for the page. Types, which is good. I mean, I haven't used types. I've got to get into generating the types from the Ruby side. I haven't done that yet in this product, but we'll get around to that. Cool. It's added a policy, serializer. Yep. Cool. Okay. It's still throwing an error, obviously, which is fine. I'll just load up just the root page here and just make sure it's still busted, which it is. So now what I'll do is I'll just say that I'll just paste this guy in. My head's in the way, sorry. And hopefully it will. It's just the way it's importing in. I think it's just getting confused. I probably could have, yeah, so it's easy. Hopefully that's what it was. I don't know what's going into there, but anyway. What's it editing here? Probably would be better with these videos, wouldn't it be, to be streamed? Not that I've got a lot of followers, but I think over time that might be better. this is what people talk about with Claude Code, that it sometimes goes off and starts overcomplicating things, or chewing up the money too. I think I was at $26 before I started recording, just to see what it would do. So, not too bad at the moment, but it's not actually running, obviously. Okay, so it thinks it's fixed something. Well, it's loading up. Okay, well, that's better than what it was. Top lists. Bang. Okay. Yeah, that is... yeah, that's to do with... it's something I want to fix. I was trying to get smart with how I did breadcrumbs. So this is unrelated to what is happening, but I might just say, okay, we get this error. You may have to exclude or fix the breadcrumbed handling for this page. And I'll just paste that in there. Whatever it does here, hopefully it works, and I'll just let it go. But I need to get back and fix it. It's just, I was trying to have this concern in there to try and work out what the breadcrumb should be, like tournament and the result. And because this is not I guess the resource army list is not built to handle it, it's falling over a bit. Anonymous user read policy, is that right? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, again, here it goes adding except different edge cases for if it's thrown errors. Anyway, but I might pull some of that out later. We'll see how we go. Okay, don't get that error, but we get a different one. Cool. This is just, it's not using this page header thing correctly. I mean, the fact that I haven't told it about this stuff and it starts trying to find it, it's pretty good. Okay, so yeah, it's screwed up the the layout of this page. I don't think we have to put main layout, to be honest. It's been a while since I've looked at page because I haven't added a new one. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Let me just fix this. Take a look at... because you have added a main layout in the new army list page. You don't have to. I'm not sure what the unable load army list thing is. Well, it's thrown that in, as this error condition, but A, I didn't ask it to, and B, shouldn't have any issues loading them, so it's probably something with the controller, but we'll be able to fix that in a minute. Okay, there you go. I thought it looked wrong when I saw main layout. I'm like, why am I having to specify main layout on my page? It's a bit weird. Okay, so that's cool. It's not right, but it's cool. Okay, we're getting a 404 on army lists. Is that why? Just make sure that's the case. I'll just clear and reload. Nope. Okay, well, let's go and have a look at, again, sometimes I come in, why has it changed this? Okay, it should not be doing this for a start, so let me just fix that. There is no need to add new army list button, player, name, link, tournament, link, etc., as we already have appropriate components. Look and use them. Really, just need to probably fix this guy, but. And then while it's doing that, I might just have a quick squeeze. Okay, saying there was a little error in the back end. So I'm just going to jump over to, I think it's, okay, yeah, it's thrown an error. Cool. That's probably true. That is not right. Yeah, the army list isn't attached to a faction. The army lists get attached to what's called a tournament result, and the tournament result has a faction. So that's what's causing that, but we'll fix that in a minute. Just go back and see what it's doing here. It wants to remove shit. Yes, take it out. You're right. I love it. You're absolutely right. I've removed it. Oh, sorry. Let's simplify implementation by using the existing components instead of creating duplicate ones. Duh. Okay, that's gone. Oh, it's found them. Look at that. Still got this army list button. Interesting. I don't know why it's still there, but anyway. Okay. Let's just load this, reload, and it should throw the error again. Cool. Now let's go and paste that in because it's just, yeah, it's got the relationship confused. I'll just give it a little bit of the top error here. I'll just explain that. What is it? Army lists belong to a tournament result, and the result has the faction. I'll just paste in those errors. It'll work that out. Now quickly the costs go up to, let's refresh. $2 so far. Fun. This is coding these days, but it is interesting. I love when you're doing the front end stuff and you can have the hot reload and watch your screen change as it does stuff. Probably won't on this because it's actually returned a valid result, but it's still throwing an error. Okay, interesting. Yeah, cool. Now, serializer's busted with something. Now with Ada, I would have probably added a lot more context straight in. Sort of like what I liked about my AI knowledge base, whatever there is. It Repo Mix, I think, is one of the big ones. Because I think it can probably sometimes exclude a lot of this freaking around. But it is interesting to watch these local agents now do a lot more, grepping and stuff and finding of the files that it needs, which is without having to sort it. This is what I hate when it just starts going, oh, I'll add all this checking in, even though I don't need to. Still getting it wrong. Wasn't as good as the one shot. I should have recorded the other one than I did. Bloody got it almost in one go. Okay, it is moving along now. It's trying to work out how do we do states for, if I come in here, the state for the tournament. Now that technically doesn't exist. So I don't know what's tried to do that. I don't even think we want to filter. Let me just, is that state? I don't think so. I'll paste that in there. Ah, where'd it go? What we will have, and I didn't actually ask it about this, is you probably need the slug because you'll need to do a link anyway. It's taking it out. It's doing that type. That's not the state. Okay, I think that's. Hang on, it's got confused. Let me get to the name of it. This one was a bit, it's called state. Oh no, that's column pool, sorry. It's not state. Sorry, it's in the tournament. We do filter tournament data table by rounds. We want to filter tournaments via rounds. See how tournaments index TXX and table tournament data table does it. Actually, before I add that in, let's just see if we're getting any close to getting a screen to load. No. Maybe should we get a little bit less ambitious? Just remove the filters for now. So look what cost we're on. What's it costs? $2.53. I'm in Australian, that's like $5 an hour. So, is my time worth that? Probably. But yeah, Claude Code's expensive, but it is what it is. Let's remove the table filters for now, and we'll add them back in as we. I just want to. Let's try to get a fucking page up. Of course, when you're recording, this is what happens. Okay. That's a little better. These points we don't even capture points at the moment, so that's a bit confusing, but we'll get into there. So yeah, you can see you got faction. It's double the table up, which is a bit, but it is what it is. And it's not able to actually load these up yet. Okay. Let's remove the limit display all in the table. As we'll do, not paging. When we go infinite scroll later. Now add the faction filter in. Let's just see if we can at least get that in there. So that points up there's actually technically that's the ranking points of that. So that I don't want that there. That's not the result I want. I want it to show like. Should I go for the prod site? I think what I want it to show is that result. So like for example. Angus is here would have Old World Force Hammer as the tournament with it went 3 zip. So that way you, and maybe even the podium if it was there. That way you can just see that, yeah, it's a good result for that list. It's really struggling to put the tan stack filters in on that table. Okay. Let's grab some of this stuff, throw it in there. Hopefully it will fix this. Okay. That's better. That's looking good. Although, again, probably I swear we've got a faction filter somewhere else, which there you go. That's okay. That will do it for now. Let's just see. Yep. Okay. That's yep. I mean, this is all the army lists too, so it's going to be a bit slow because I haven't got the. I mean, this is what I love about Notion, right? This is local, obviously, but there's no caching here, and it goes, pretty darn fast for the amount of crap that it's bringing back. I think we want to. Let me just have a look how these are rendered. Yeah, it's put a card around the outside, which we don't like. So I'm going to tell it to piss that off. It's going to send it a screenshot. There's a second border around the table we need to remove. See screenshot. Oh, hang on, can you even paste? I think you've got to go. Nah, I'm getting confused with Ada. Yeah, okay. So it's mostly got rid of that. Cool. I'm pretty sure though, if you go to like upcoming, I've got filter by. I'm not sure why it's not picking when I've asked it. Every time I move my face, it gets in the way. Rankings table, yeah. Like in our rankings table, TSX, add the filter by text. Also, now let's add a, what do we call it? Do we want a region? Maybe. Actually, not at the moment. Let's just do that. Let's go back to putting, let's do the result. What I might look at, if I go to the dashboard, I just can't remember what the, can't remember what the component is called. But we've got this little result component or something. Action scoring. Month mark, empty state. Oh. You love trying to find stuff that you wrote ages ago. It'll be podium status badge URL. Basically what I want to try and do is find, well, let's actually, it'll be in this one. Sorry, I don't have IO10N in this, pretty bad. Latest winning lists, there we go, this one. Yeah, it's not componentized, but I'll ask it. We don't want the points column. The results should be the win, loss, draw results like we display in latest winning list TXX. see what happens. It thinks it did it, but it hasn't done it. Oh, yeah, there we go. It has. Cool. Now, I wouldn't say it's sorted that. Okay. So I think the controller needs to sort by ODM, well, I guess, result ranking first, then number of wins. We want first places higher and, yes, I think it's sort of, and it can't, look, I mean, it's 103, like that's not always indicative of how the rankings are even done on a tournament. So like you will get a little bit of oddness like that. But in general, what we want to see is, ones that have not been undefeated. And I might even put that into a filter that says like undefeated or just lost one. I think it'll be pretty obvious. Like it'll probably be fine for now. Oh, here he goes again, adding shit I didn't want. But anyway, didn't want. Probably want this eventually, but I didn't ask it to do that. No, remove table sorting, please. Yeah, I didn't ask you to do that. This is the problem with Claude. We're going to have to 3.7 at least on it. It seems to do, go a little bit crazy with some of that. Okay, so that's looking better. Although now, when it's ripped that out, still going, pulling the sorting out. I'll have to compact in a minute. No, it's still going. Oh, no. What did you just do, you dumb thing? Okay. I wanted the table sorting removed. Keep the new ordering that orders from controller to rank podiums and number of wins at. Hopefully it works. Understands what I mean there, because that's done the wrong thing. It's gone back to basically what we had before. The other thing I like to do is when you get things right, obviously committing more. I mean, probably should have been committing a bit here. Or at the very least, what's interesting is you just sort of stage it and then you let it run again, which gives you a bit more idea each time you're sort of asking a question, what the hell it's actually doing. Cool, and that looks better because, I mean, these are, Blue is one of the better players and he smashed out one of the largest tournaments and got a heap on that one, so you can see. And you're seeing a lot of these first place along here, but I'm sure if we go down, we'll see others that are third places, but pretty good lists and stuff. And technically we've got every list in here. Now, might not want that, but yeah, it's a good start. Now, let's just see what works and what doesn't. If I click on the player, it does go to him, which that works. The tournament doesn't work. Okay, so we'll need to fix that. And I believe when we were looking at this, the list button didn't work either, which it doesn't. Okay, so we will need to fix those things. The only thing I wanted to do is there is a The factions are actually rendered sort of confusingly here, which they're just alphabetically, which is technically not right. And we've already got a box that does it properly. Faction select. Now, can it use that out of the box? That's can we utilize the faction select component as it renders factions and sub-factions properly? Or if not, at least indent and group factions, sub-factions like faction select does. Let's see what it does here. Well, it's just quickly thinking. And then I did want to, start looking at the different. I want to add this one in, which is the one that was breaking. I don't need states. States are like not states, what they call them, like regions, like states and provinces. I don't think that's that valuable here. I think you could definitely. There's an argument to have filter by like regions, so I can actually look at, now it's broken that you might want to look at just the Australian top lists. I'll add that in a minute, potentially. I'm just trying to, now that it's trying to work out how the factions are grouped. Probably going to struggle a bit. It might not. $5. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, cool. That's a cool little warning. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so now it's obviously a Ruby. They've crashed something on the Rails side. Let's go see what that is. It'll be a relationship it's got wrong. Yeah. Yep. What are you doing, dude? It's probably not called that. Obviously, if you weren't, this is where if you were just running Node and doing it or something like that, or Next.js, this would be looking at the results directly. So you probably wouldn't have to be pasting it back in like that, but that's fine. There's a chance it's going overboard here. I don't know if this is right, but no, it's still going to be getting confused. Let's have a look. What is it doing? It's trying to use the faction select. Probably correct. Reason it's still getting a probably an association wrong. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. There is other places where this is loaded in. It's obviously not looked at it. It's getting confused. It should see it in the structure seeker, which is how it works it out. That's not going to work though. You can try. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. We'll see. See if you get it right. That's better. Yeah, that is better. Cool. Okay. Sorry, that might be confusing if you don't know what it's looking at, but yeah, anyway, I don't know. There's definitely some formatting things here to sort out. What I might do is let's see how it goes. Yeah, we'll keep confusing it. 30% remaining, hey? Let's just do the onlylist button. Because what it should be, I'll just say, is 404ing. Effectively 404ing is a little different. Now, I think is it still added the, oh, I took it out. It didn't add its own button, did it? No. Now, it could be, let me just have a look at something here. Okay, so it's got to actually navigate to AU tournaments, and I think what's happening. So when I click that, it's trying to just go to slash that, so that's the issue. As you aren't adding the tournament region and tournament path in front of the tournament name. Instead of what it should be, that's not going to work either. Something like US tournaments, blah. See if it works it out. Now, this is probably because this is a non-tenanted screen now, and the component is either, well, maybe it has just, it did take some of that stuff out, so therefore that could be wrong. And yeah, it's just not built. Didn't realise how to sort of get them. Good thing is it potentially is also fixing the tournament link being broken as well, which would be nice. Yep. It's gone to the right tournament. And in addition, if I open up that list, there it is there. Now, the annoying thing is just the way this is currently working, because of the way pop-ups and stuff work, dialogues in inertia, which I'll have to fix, is I load them up on the tournament, this results screen, which will be a little annoying. But you can do this type of thing and open them in another one, but I'll have to, that'll be something I'll fix in a later date. Oh, it's not giving me enough room. Do I really want to whinge about that? Let's see if we can just get that round now. Now, let's add in the filter by rounds, similar to our rankings table, RTT, GT, etc. See if we can get that one, because it was failing before. Now, the other thing I've got to think about here, you probably want the date, because older tournaments may be irrelevant. But that might be a filter that I want and default it to like last 3 months or all time. Because realistically, the game moves so quickly with meta changes that you don't sort of care. I just noticed that with like what some of those top results there are top results, but they're very old. Well, yeah, they're 9 months old. doing that stupid thing again. It's going crazy. Yeah, not working. Although sometimes you just go, I don't even look at it, I'll just paste the error in. Hopefully you can sort it out. It wrote it, it should fix it. Okay, that's better. But it isn't, it's not outputting that. There's no need to have an event type in there. It's gone in and done something else. Didn't ask it to. It's gone and change that faction again. But yeah, we can fix those things. Yeah, so this is not working. So it's actually loaded up that correctly, but yeah, we don't need that. Okay, let's again look at rankings table, and we only have a preceding filter by and not labels on each filter. Also remove event type as a column and ensure the event rounds filter works, though the filter select values look right, but it's resulting in 0 results. Yeah, okay, it's going to build another rounds filter even though we have one. Let me have a look. Let me have a look at this. This is where I had it here somewhere. Maybe I've sent it on a wild goose chase. Maybe it's not called this. State filter. Yeah. Did I do the wrong one? I did. I've sent it on a wild goose chase. It's actually the upcoming. So it would be our tournament timeline table. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it's getting confused. Maybe I'll just stop this. Okay, that was mine. Send it on a wild goose chase. That's all good. Well, they don't mind the rounds at the end there. That's actually pretty good. That should be there. I might leave that. And generally you can work that out, but why are these coming up as 5? There could have been a dropout. Anyway. Still working stuff out. It's actually working technically now, which is sort of good. Yeah, the sizing of these will need to be fixed, but that's okay. The other thing I do need it to do eventually, and I'll just do this later, is adding params into these URLs. That's putting the filters on so you can share that page, but worry about that next. Anyway, our context is getting low here. So I think, and I'm on, 54 minutes, probably long enough for a video. I think it's pretty close. I mean, for an hour, what was our cost? $7 US, $12 an hour. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Although, again, that's on the expensive side. I think if you did this, you could do this whole thing with Cursor, and it would have done it as well. Cursor's agent mode with Claude Sonnet. So, and maybe I'll do another video just using Cursor to finish this off if I don't finish off before then. Anyway, hopefully that was a little bit of an insight into, you know, how some of this gets built. Let's have a look at GT. Cool. That was interesting, actually, when I flicked to... Yeah, so there's definitely some bugs here because it's not... There should be in all factions. There shouldn't be no faction. Oh, no, okay. That's should be, yeah. There's a few little bugs with what it's done here. But yeah, that's when you flick to... It's like it's not sorting it. That should still be sorted by... okay, that's interesting. It's not a bug, but I wonder what you want here. It's basically said these are the podiums, but they're only on 3-round events, whereas some of these 5-rounders that, yeah, Organ Goblins aren't like winning the event, so that's why the top ones seem to be the 1-dayers. So that's actually interesting. That's good. And if I look at this guy, you can sort of see that Organ Goblin list. Cool. Anyway, I'm going to close this one out. Thanks, guys.